But yeah, tell everybody about this article, Jordana. You read it?
Yeah, so the synopsis is that I think the title was "Winter Lockdown," or "Are you fearing winter lockdown? If you are, live like a Norwegian." And what they did is they looked at Norway, which obviously is a country that has the least amount of sunlight because they have really really long dark hours in the day, and they found that their mindset and their ability to adapt to that was actually stronger than ours because their seasonal depression rates are a lot lower. And so when we compare that to what the way we think is very, very different. And I think they've just had a lot of time to adapt to it. And I think they still do their outdoor events and they find ways around the whole winter glum and gloominess by actually getting excited about it. So they have winter festivals, they've got outdoor open cinemas, they dress really well so that they can still meet up outside, and they just prepare themselves mentally for it. They don't do anything different to us except for changing that mindset.
Right.
And I think that is so important.
Now that's all wonderful, right? And it is wonderful. And I think in certainly Scandinavian countries that they probably get a lot more daylight in terms of sunshine, maybe less time. But I think the problem sometimes with the UK, George, is we get a lot of grey, wet weather. Is it more that problem? So actually, if we had a winter that was just clear blue sky, that would be easier, wouldn't it? Is it the grey clouds which is the problem for us?
I like winter, me. I really find it quite cosy. So I'm opposite. So I believe that sad syndrome's out there, but I enjoy winter.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
actually?
I would say that it does really demotivate me waking up when it's dark. Like that really annoys me
Yeah.
because you just feel like you shouldn't be up when you're in the shower and you're like, oh,
Yeah, but I love laying in a bath at night and it's like raining and it's like rake cold and you rake warm in a bath. And I did say earlier as well that you guys started laughing at me in the green room. If you get your sent on sunbed, it does make you feel a lot better.
yeah, I mean that there is scientific proof that lack of sunlight does lead to sad syndrome. So that's why they've brought out these things called like happy lamps, where they sit on your bedside table and they produce the closest thing you can to natural sunlight. They come on in the morning, and that's to give you that boost of UV light that then leads to endorphins and a bit of a happier day. I can totally see how it leads to sad, but I mean, what I loved about the article that Dan, if you're there, can you post it as well? That if you
Yes,
read it,
He has
it's
done, yeah.
about mindset. And when I told my housemate this, he was comparing it to football teams, and he's saying like when you support a team that doesn't do well a lot, it's actually you're a happier fan because your expectations are a bit lower, but also when they do have their wins, you're like, yes. Whereas when you support a team who's actually winning all the time, you end up like not having that same euphoria or endorphin release because they're always winning, and then you get really, really down when they're losing. I mean, that is a little bit of a 2D
Jordana,
metaphor,
I get
but you
that
know what I mean.
completely. I totally get that one, I have to say. But I think it does make a lot of sense. And I think trying to draw this into sort of industry related, why does this actually matter? Well, look, the first thing that I'm going to ask you all, are you going into winter with dread? Do you dread winter? Yes. Do you dread winter? No. You're quite happy, you're positive and you're going into it. I think from certainly, and I think where my link would come with this is that actually as an industry, and we are so pivotal in how well we can make people feel. And again, we were talking about this in the green room before coming on air, and we were saying, George, well, we were saying actually us as an industry are incredibly important to how people are going to feel going into this winter. And that experience of coming to a salon may be the one little bit of brightness going on in their life with, dare I say that word, COVID-19 and winter. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that, like I said, obviously we were talking about maybe the hairdressing industry being affected with not perhaps the sort of threat of not as much going on at Christmas. But actually what it has made people feel is that they do want to feel better about themselves. So in actual fact, people have still got to go to the supermarket. They've still got to do the school run. There's still going to be the odd Christmas meal. There's still going to be the odd meal or trip to the pub. People still need the hair done. So I think that is a saving grace. I think possibly what's making people feel worse with the winter coming is there's still a massive level of uncertainty in terms of what's going to happen and where we can go and what we can do with all the rules changing over time,
Oh, that's interesting. You sort of, people still going out. I mean, you're in London, Kensington, Jordana, your salon, I would imagine, quite high-end, nice restaurants. Are you noticing a difference with that change to a client's behaviour where, women still having their hair done for a evening out, or is that something that's just a bit yesterday and people don't do that anymore?
The blow dry business has completely depleted, definitely, because
Okay.
we used to get weekly blow dries. They're definitely no longer to be seen because people wouldn't pay for that just to be on a Zoom call. However, I'm going to do what I came up with this idea called blow out to help out. And I know it sounds a bit dirty, but I don't mean it in that sense. So you know how you've got eat out to help out, blow out to help out. I was going to offer to my clients £30 blow dry, which is half price, because our blow dries are quite expensive. Don't ask me why, it's just always been that way, because it takes us the same amount of time, like 45 minutes. Anyway, so blow out to help out, £30 blow dries if you buy a bulk of 6 and you have to use them within 6-week period. So basically once a week. And that's just hopefully going to get them back into the routine and kind of hook them on having their hair blow dried again. Again, it's just about the experience and making sure that the finer details in the salon are kind of really polished, because they will come back, but we just have to make them do it sooner.
What about you with blow dries? You're more colour, aren't you, George? You don't really.
Yeah, we've never been a styling bar. I mean, we have got Luke, my lad. He's absolutely amazing at updos. He's amazing at blow dries, but we've never marketed ourselves on that. So actually, our Christmas is no different to our March or April or May, to be honest, because we're just colour focused.
And what about colour then? Is colour something that we go into winter, right? And it's the same every year. I can tell you how it's going to be. Yeah, there'll be some form of darker, deeper, chestnut, auburn, of some kind of red that every winter comes about. But actually, we tend to think, they want these deeper flamer colours. It doesn't work like that. But does colours, is that something that can give you a lift, isn't it? Particularly, when things are getting damper, darker, and that's got to be a lift.
100%. But I'll be honest, Tom, I don't find any difference from my December to my January, because it's just the way that I market my clients and the way that I am. And I would much rather, as a business, as a salon, have a constant flow, consistent throughout the year, than I would think, oh my God, I've had a terrible summer, I'm really looking forward to Christmas, because I just don't think that's the way the business can work. I would rather be consistently booked every 6 to 12 weeks, and then I don't have to worry about anything.
Is Christmas still a big, because that was also the other thing years ago. I guess this is my years of being in hairdressing, that we'd have really busy Christmas, and then January, February just died to death. But is it more about just repeat customers now? People just come in for their colours 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, Jordana?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, definitely frequency of visits is going to be at an all-time low. So what we can do is put a positive spin on it. I was speaking to this amazing guy called Ricky Waters, who's the owner of Salon 64, and he was like, yes, then the next thing is to come is the second lockdown, and that is fearful, but can we see a business opportunity here? Can we turn that into a marketing stunt and say, guys, we're about to go into a second lockdown, get your appointments in now, because we don't know what's around the corner, we're getting really busy, make them feel like they might not even get an appointment, and hook them and engage them in that way.
Yeah, love that.
And I thought that was brilliant, because you have to follow Ricky Waters,
proper smart, isn't he? I mean,
he's
love his
29
salon.
and he is just mind-blowingly amazing at business, at seeing opportunities, and just turning everything into a positive.
Again, I interviewed Ricky for a podcast. We talked about his salon, and he'd do his makeup even. They've got the bar in there in Soho, isn't it? And actually, Ricky would be great to get to come on to the show, which we're going to be talking about. I think this is the whole thing, what we wanted to talk about this winter, and I think everything about it is really, it's about the mindset, George, isn't it? And, I think everything with the doom and gloom that we all hear every day, and now the winter, but actually isn't it time that we all just got excited and we start planning and get, as what Jordana says, let's get our mindset really right now, whether you're a salon owner, hairdresser, freelancer, let's get our mindset right.